Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Yeah, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets that taught me, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets that taught me, I'm just trying to get my nigga paid. We came from Section 8, and I knew I was at since the second grade. Man, I swear my time is coming, cause I'm never late. Came from broken homes and broken dreams to getting paid.
Boss Cowboys.
Your voice matters.
And it does. We promised we was coming back, Al. We promised.
Yes, sir.
See, because it was some more nuggets that Jori talked about that we gotta, discuss.
Yeah.
And then
She
obviously, she a real one. She had some stuff, and I think it's gonna confirm some things that have been said a lot. So, and then we got a lot of film preparing us for the Monday night. So it's going down today. What's your thoughts, bro?
Hey, if we do what we supposed to do, we can bury Burrows and the Bengals, dog. It's just that simple, dog.
That's simple. We're going to talk about it.
Who we going to get?
We'll be right back, and we going to talk about it.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
No watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. New watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. Need no middleman, I'm the man to man, send it in. I like what I like, me, I know my rights is sipping in. I like having fun, I do what I want, it's what it is. For my son and son, for my daughters, yeah, it's for my twin. I work through the night, I do what I like, get a check, I go for the ride. I've been down the ride for the win. Still move on the hush, never run for none. I face my fears, I just drop a 9 month to month, still from year to year. No watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. New watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich. Do it again, again, again. I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich. Do it again, again, again. Get some checks, I invest and I spend a check. Spend a check, get it back, then I take a rest. Only race is the human, I take care of my skin. I was doing this as a rookie, now I'm up to vet. Set the trend, set the pace of play. I don't trip, but if I fall, bet I make a way. I take trips in the fall, watch the leaves change. I like to treat every day like it's my B-Day. No watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. New watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich. Do it again, again, again. I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich. Do it again, again, again.
Alright, man, welcome to Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Do it again, again, again.
And I need all of the executives have a seat. Let's talk some ball.
Do it again, again, again.
Alright, now. Man, we've been waiting on this, man. We've been waiting on this. We said we was going to bring this. Yes, indeed. Yes. Yes, indeed. So, and today's stream is brought to you by BetUS, where you can receive 150% bonus on your first deposit and 125% on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000. Your promo code Make sure you put that YouTube 150. You was saying to say something, brother.
Yeah, man. It's just, Miss Jori brought up some great points. We tried to elaborate on those, but she dropped so many nuggets, and her case was so nice. We had to come back twice, y'all.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because we promised we was saying at the last show, it's like she said so much that we didn't even get to, Yeah. Because obviously the Dak situation was the focus, but when Amp started researching, it was like, man, I'm on Landlord Channel. Elaborate for me real quick.
I got you. So yeah, so after this interview came out, we did our show the other night. What was that, Wednesday night? And I saw she created some ripples in the Cowboys nation, y'all, because it created a conversation after Mike McCarthy offered his rebuttal. Then it was the question of, did Mike throw Dak under the bus, or was he being a real homie and a real G and actually looking out for Dak? And that is to be determined. A lot of people felt he threw Dak under the bus by saying, hey, I don't know what he was talking about. And a lot of people were saying he was more so deflecting and kind of taking the heat off of Dak Prescott by not acknowledging the fact that it was an issue. But the fact that it even came out and we're talking about it, that means it has made its way to the radar, Cowboys Nation. So with that being said, me and Boss are going to dive into it again on tonight and talk about these upcoming Bengals. Now, from a point of personal experience, I will tell y'all, Amp was at the last Cowboys Bengals game. And I have a brother, and my brother is a diehard Cincinnati Bengals fan. And me and my dad were joning on him because when we came to Dallas the last time, Boss, when we got that good barbecue, by the way, that you still need to get up on. I'm not going to let up on that. But yeah, when we went, me and my dad were cracking on my brother because we said, dog, when we went into the Walmart, and everybody know what Walmart I'm talking about, the one across the street from the stadium. We went in there, and my brother bought a Burrows jersey. And I said, dog, you had to come to Dallas to get a Burrows jersey, dog? Wow. I said that jersey will forever be tied to Dallas, dog. Nonetheless, I was live in person. That was your first game without Dak Prescott. Cooper Rush, boy, he had me nervous like a you-know-what in church. Nonetheless, they dropped the interceptions. We won the game. The kick was good, and we ran off. And as Coach would say if you were here, we gangster to win. And it's going to take everything we did in that game plus more for us to be able to gangster and win.
So, yeah, and we'll start with the Bengals, right? So, looking at the Bengals, I want to show y'all something from the metrics, all right? So
they're not playing, dog.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you what I see with them. I see them exactly like us. Exciting losses. Swear to God. That's exactly how I see them. Exciting losses because let's just look at something real quick. So this is their last game where they had 38 passing attempts and 15 rushing attempts. Who that look like?
Looks real familiar, dog.
And then
the Dallas Cowboys of the North.
Then they went away from it, even though they was averaging a sick amount in the first half. You see what I'm saying? It's just like us, bro. Exciting losses, bro. All right, so let me pick another week. Tell me what you see. Let me go to week 12. All right, let me see. Oh, they ain't play week 12. All right, give me a second. Because I already did this. So.
Which team?
This is the Bengals.
I'm saying against who?
I'm not even looking at that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just looking at balance for now.
Gotcha.
Right? So, and if you could look it up, that'll help.
I'm looking at their wins and losses.
It's a lot of.
and their wins do not impress me, dog. Like you beat Carolina, you beat New York, a
and
team
the Giants
we beat twice.
kept you under 20.
You beat Las Vegas, a team who is struggling. You beat Cleveland, a team who we beat. They are the AFC version of us, bro.
Yeah, they are.
Like real talk, like that's our sister franchise right now. Like according to results and stats, like they are who we are. A team who has talent sprinkled throughout the organization, but a team who has not lived up to the expectations set before them on the season. That's what you got.
Look at this. As a matter of fact, let's look at
50 attempts.
Right.
What week was this?
This is week 11. Matter of fact, can you look at the schedule? Because I'm just looking at the metrics.
Looking at it. Week 11. So that was against the Chargers. So they lost that game 34-27. Burrows threw for 356. Your high rusher was Brown with 86 yards, and your high receiver for that game was T. Higgins with 148.
So
you had a pass happy effort.
Yeah.
You had high points like us at times. All that for naught because you got plastered by the Chargers.
Right. Let's look at some more, if you don't mind. I'm gonna go back one more week. Hold on. Let me do it in front of y'all. I'm gonna be transparent. See, I'm showing you, man. See, we show our work over here, man. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Look at this. Look.
And that was week what?
This is week 10.
Week 10. So that was against the Baltimore Ravens. They lost by a score of 35-34. Now look.
Excited losses just like us, bro.
It's crazy.
These pass happy teams, people gonna learn. And see, it's the same thing with us. Oh man, they defense bad. Is it that? Or is it just like us where they wear down their defense?
So I see what happened on that game. That game ended with a 9-play drive that they went 70 yards in 1 minute and 11 seconds. They were down 35-28. They scored, and apparently it looks like oh, okay. So what they tried to do is they tried to go for the win. They went for the win, and they went for 2, and they didn't get it. So they lost by a score of 1 point. So they could have easily tied it up with the extra point and went into overtime, but their coach said, you know what, we're going to win it right here, and they went for 2 and didn't get it. So it was a close, exciting, as they would say, hard-fought loss, boss. That's been us.
This is a very, very, very winnable game by Dallas.
Very.
They really need to kind of stick to what made them win the last time. 30-plus rushing attempts. Keep this offense off rhythm. They go come out pass happy like they always do. Let's kind of look at some of the weapons. I want to give you opinions. Let's start with Chase. So obviously, what's your thoughts on Chase? Let's start with him.
He's that dude, bro. And honestly and truthfully, this is a situation, and it's funny you said they mirror the Cowboys. They've mirrored the Cowboys with their how they have handled their star receiver, Jamar Chase. It's a situation where this individual has bet on himself. He's in his contract year. They could not get an extension signed before the beginning of the season. So guess what? Now he's playing. Now he's betting on himself. He doesn't have the security. I hope he can finish this season healthy. But this individual is having a great season. I mean, I'm going to pull it up for you, boss, talking about being transparent. He currently has, let's back it up. I need stats, team stats. There we go. He currently has 1,100 yards receiving already with 5 games left to play. So he's been having a hell of a season. Joe Burrow has 3,300. But nonetheless, he is a guy who you're always going to have to identify. You're going to have to locate him. You're going to have to check him. Now, strategically, do I want anybody to follow him? Not necessarily, because we at the point now where we have Bland back. Hopefully Diggs will be available for this game. And if you have those two individuals, personally, Amp don't care what side he line up on. I'm even if it's Jordan Lewis in the slot, initially I'm okay with letting him have him on that slot without any additional assistance. Now, should it come about to where Chase is just having a remarkable first half and he's gashing us, okay, now you need to make some adjustments. So to Mike Zimmer, whatever adjustment you're going to do, the same way you did with who was that boss that we adjusted last year? Was it Israel? Or was it the fact? No. Stephon Gilmore. Trailing who? Who do we have him following last year, boss?
Oh, that was DK Metcalf and AJ Brown.
Yes. That needs to be, you need to have something similar to that in your back pocket, Mike Zimmer. In the event that it appears that he is too much for your cornerbacks to handle one-on-one. What say you, boss?
Definitely having a backup like that is going to be absolutely necessary. But me looking at this team, I think we got to challenge them. Yeah. Because, see, Mike Zimmer, he run a lot of zone. That's going to get you killed this game. Yeah, when I'm watching Joe Burrow and them play, they are very, very, very good at hot pocketing. This is a very good hot pocket team. They read a defense very well, but they're scarier because they yak is explosive. So just imagine Schultz with yak. Right? Where he's not even finding the open zones, which they do great. They'll turn that into like a big play, you know.
So it sounds to me like we need to be the focal points for our defense this week needs to be tackling in space and, more importantly, gang tackling. Getting them before they can get off and take off and head north and south toward the end zone.
Yeah, and I would also say get after Burrow, challenge him. Yeah, because see, him versus the zone, Burrow is a monster. You know, and then obviously Coach Marv will say this. You know, you got to take away the big play with these guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm just telling everybody, you run a lot of zone on this team, they gonna murder you. They gonna murder you.
So you pressing up or you slacking off?
Huh?
You pressing up or you slacking off?
I'm pressing. I'm challenging them. I'm challenging them. I sure am. I'm going full-fledged challenge, bro. Because if you don't challenge these dudes, say, yeah. Now, eventually, are they going to likely make a play on you from that? Yeah. But see, it's one of them things to where we got playmakers too. What's your thoughts on that?
Are you worried about their run game?
Yes, I am. Chase Brown is very explosive. I liked him coming out of Illinois. I remember him and his brother very well. He was from a very good draft class where they had some sleepers, and he was one of them. I think he was on one of the OC's top sleeper candidates, you know. So when you look at him, he's also explosive. So we got to stop the run, and that goes without saying because he's a big play back. He can hit you. Yeah, he can hit you. So when you see what I'm saying, look. Boy, he hit you, bro.
Yeah. And he turned them jets on.
Yeah. Yeah, he 4-4 speed, bro. Like for real. With game speed. So am I worried about their running game? Absolutely. It's one of those, like, he kind of Pollarded ish. You see what I'm saying?
Big playability.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Good in space.
Yes. Yes.
Tackling.
Yeah.
Tackling.
Yeah, you got it. I say hit him in the mouth. But why did you ask that question? You had something in your mind. What was you thinking with that question?
I was just wondering about where we should put our strength and numbers at this week. Just if we could sit back and drop a couple and only, have to rush 4, maybe 5, only have 4 to 5 guys on the line instead of that 6 that Zimmer has been doing at times this year. I'm just worried about back end.
Gotcha.
Got a feeling it might be a little Baltimore.
They want to pass it, bro. They go past the rock. So, this might be one of those trust your front four to get after, type of game. That's why I call this game. It's going to be very interesting to see what Zim is going to do to counter them. Because, see, if you able to take a top 5 offense that been averaging big points the last 4 games, and you can take them under 21, that's go bode well for him. And you have to credit him for that. Hit the wrong button. What's your thoughts on that? To my Zimmer.
Yeah, this is probably going to be Zimmer's biggest test this year. The good news is you got guys coming back. You got guys healthy. I don't know yet. I was looking. I haven't gotten confirmation yet on D-Law, but as far as just I know no Wanye, I know no Zach. Not sure about anybody else outside of that, but Zim has shown that he has been more so leaning on that zone this year. And to your point, they could pick us apart with that, but he's gonna have to make adjustments on the fly real quick this week. I mean, real quick. Like, you might not be able to make it to halftime quick because you don't want it to get that far out of reach before you figure out what it is that they're doing to you. So
they'll walk downfield if you zone up on them.
Bag this week, dog.
Yeah. And I really think Simple go be the best, to be honest. I think
so they can play fast.
Yeah, I say just challenge them. This is what I mean. Press them up, get in their face, bump them, right? Where you making Burrow have to have tight throws because you challenging them. It's a lot of challenging throws. But you also trying to buy time for Micah Parsons to get a. What is Micah Parsons going to do with a team that like to throw it 50 times? I'm telling you, this game is very winnable. I'm telling you. I swear I hope they try to throw it 50 times with us.
Yeah.
I swear they do. Ooh. Ooh. Because, see, Micah go get that ball. I promise you, if they try to throw that 50 times, Micah go get the ball twice.
And see, the fact that Demo has been elevating, you're not going to be able to key in on just Micah.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to check for Micah. You're going to have to check for Demo. You might have to check for Jordan Lewis or our safety. Like, yeah, they gonna have their hands full, bro.
Yeah.
And if their offensive line can't handle our defensive line, it's gonna be a long day for them. The fact that our defensive depth is getting healthier by the week, that's something I can rest my hat on.
Yeah.
Like that, and the fact that you got the corners and both of those hands will wash one another. Your corners don't have to necessarily hold as long if the rush is getting to them.
Right.
On the flip side, the rush getting to them, Burrow makes some hasty, quick decisions with the football, and then next thing you know, our secondary is getting their hands on the ball. So I feel comfortable about both of those avenues, both of those rooms. But it's to be determined. I mean, we felt good going in some games where, hey, we should be able to handle them, and for whatever reason we don't. So Yeah, I need them to speed up his clock. You speed up Burrow's clock, you get him off his stand, you can win.
Yeah. And see, that's why I call it a shootout game, because you got two pass-happy offenses.
Yep. And they're averaging right around 28 points a game, and they're giving up right around 28 points a game. So it may be one of those situations where, barring a goofy, boneheaded, ill-advised decision by your coaching staff to go for it at inappropriate times in the game, barring that, it may come down to a situation to where whoever got the ball last is going to win. Whoever scores last may win this one.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be a good test for Mike McCarthy too. Can you change gears?
Ooh.
Brian Brothers brought out a very good, interesting stat on 105.3 The Fan, that teams that ran the ball 30 plus times against the Bengals are 5-1 this year. This is the problem. Mike McCarthy only ran the ball once 30 times this whole season. That's the problem. But this game clearly says it's a test of your discipline to change your gears. And everybody has basically welcomed the pattern that he will not stick to the run. So that makes it interesting.
The other thing that concerns me about this matchup is when you go back and look at it, Mike McCarthy is like Kellen Moore in a sense. When we have situations where we're going up against upper echelon quarterback, if you will, he gets a little goofy and it turns into a pissing contest often. And he feels like, oh, you got a nice quarterback over there, I'm going to show you what I can do with mine, whether it's the quarterback or not. So that's the part that kind of concerns me. I hope I'm wrong, Mike. If you're listening, dog, it ain't nothing personal, bro. I just want you to be the best version of you can be. But when you go up against these upper echelon quarterbacks, dog, you don't have to beat them. Passing is not the only way to beat them.
Right.
You can beat them by keeping them off of the field. You can beat them by controlling time of possession. You can beat them by wearing down their defense to the point to where they have no answers for you, and now you're scoring every trip down.
Right.
But don't feel like you got to get into a pissing contest and whoever throws the ball more or whoever gets the most passing yards is going to win the game. No.
I would be shocked if Mike McCarthy tried to out-throw Burrow with Cooper Rush. I would be shocked. I would be like, man, impossible. Did the audacity.
Mitigated goal.
But I'm impressed though. It's Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow. When I watch their offense, I see Joe Burrow. Him and Dak is like, man, them boys got some super touch, bro. You know what I mean? But what I really like about their offense is his anticipation, man. And I like how they play together. Like, you really, like, I think those guys would have done well under Kellen Moore with the option routes, the way that they all read the defense, man. Yeah, it was, they very good in space, Amp. For real. And it's not even just the playmaking. It's the playmaking is obvious, but like that. Did you see that? Like how they find them soft spots. Did you see that right there? But they explosive with it. That's the difference between them is that now you got weapons that really stretch you, but they also cerebral. So like you can see you see how he found that hole, Yep. And Burrow go find them, bro. They in sync, bro. And it's not just people look at them and they say, "Ooh, they imagine that they just beating people one-on-one." No, it ain't. They beating people mentally. This is another play where you go see him, same type of play. he go beat the zone where he go get right behind that linebacker, number 50. Watch, pop. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
See them balls.
Got him.
Yeah, this is not deep. People imagining them just routing up balls. No, it's not. This is they beating balls mentally, for real. So this is gonna be interesting, man. That's why to me you gotta challenge them. You can't have no hot pocket. You can't give them pockets because they go find them. They go find them. So anyway, so I'm interested to see Zimmer, man. Zimmer, what's gonna be your chess move with this? I want to see how you go play this. Because I think he can respond. Now,
and we still got to figure out if he's worth bringing back next year, because a lot of individuals have been talking about, the head coach spot. Maybe if Mike is not brought back, maybe you slide Zimmer in and extended interim deal, if you will, if you don't really necessarily have the coach available that you want for the foreseeable future. So that's an option as well. But as I was looking at our previous matchup, one thing stuck out, and that was something that we have been calling for on this channel for quite some time, and we do it on a week-to-week basis, and that is balance.
Yep.
Because when we played Joe Burrow and the Bengals last time at AT&T Stadium,
it was balanced.
Cooper Rush was 19 for 31. He had 235 yards passing, 1 touchdown, key point, no picks. Zeke was still your lead back in that game. He had 15 carries for 53 yards. Tony Pollard had 9 carries for 43 yards. As a team, you eclipsed the century mark with 107 yards rushing. You held them to under 100 rushing, and you held them to under 200 receiving. Right. So, again, that was a testament to your defense. However, the defense we have this year is not that defense yet, but they can do some things to mirror what that defense did, and it may be a little bit easier considering the fact that you're getting healthier.
And Micah might be better.
Yeah.
So Micah could turn to the absolute game changer for this one. If you throw it 50 times with Micah getting after you, that's different, bro. That's real different. See, I noticed Burrow does a lot of escaping. It ain't gonna be like that. He does a lot of escaping, man. It almost looks like Dallas, the 2.3 and all of that. Where he'll buy times with his legs, they'll scramble, and he'll get it to you. It's going to be different. They going to be banging on Burrow this game. To me, that's the key. Hit him. You got to keep hitting him, bro. Keep hitting him. You know? And I think you going to get your chances this game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. These are exciting losses. Yep. And we can do them the same way. What was you laughing at?
You said exciting losses, bro.
Yeah.
I can't get past it, dog.
Yeah. Now, the thing I'm going to say also about Zimmer is Zimmer put on a show this game. Like a show. Would it be time to start considering him as a head coach candidate? Because at some point you do perform to where you put your name back in the hat. Dan Quinn did it, right? Because Dan Quinn obviously was, nobody wanted him but us coming out of Atlanta.
I think even if Zim elevates and get this defense playing at the top tier level, me personally, and I got to also listen and take his own words into account. Early on in the season, when they would ask Mike McCarthy about, head coach versus D coordinator, he alluded to the fact that he doesn't have to do as much. He doesn't have to say as much. He doesn't have to come before the media as often as Mike McCarthy. He appreciated not being in the limelight. He appreciates being able to just coach his defense and do his thing. So honestly, I think that's a place of comfort for Mike Zimmer. Because you look at his age, I mean, he's done it all. I think he misses the game, but I'm not sure Mike Zimmer is prepared to take on everything it means to be the Dallas Cowboys head coach. You got to deal with the circus. You got to deal with the zoo. You got to deal with the animals. You got to deal with the zookeepers. And we know the zookeepers are not the easiest to deal with, bro.
So when would it be time with a losing season? When would it be time? Because right now we evaluating them, and it's kind of hard to evaluate, especially Zimmer, just based on wins and losses, right?
So
to me,
are we evaluating Zimmer for D coordinator, or are we evaluating him for head coach? That's
both.
The question.
I'm looking at it from both, right? So it's kind of like, because this is a statement game for him, to me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So this is the type of game, as much as they rolling, if you can put together a plan to limit them to 21 points, that's major to me. You know what I mean? That's gonna be like, all right, now is it time to consider him?
So will the defense's play or elevated level of play be enough to say, you know what, he needs to be the head coach?
It depends on what they do.
Yeah.
So because right now he on a 3-week trend, a good one.
Yeah.
And they playing hard. His defense making some stupid plays.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of common sense. So for instance, you remember the OC was talking about he wanted to see more run blitzes. What we've been seeing.
He been doing it.
Right.
He been doing it.
Everything we've been wanting to see. We want to see more Wanye and Izzy. Was we seeing that?
Until injuries started to bite us again, we were seeing it. So
we wanted to see fairness. Butler was a sign for fairness.
He's bringing the guys on who are showing that they deserve to be on the field. That's all we've been calling.
He just checking boxes, bro. He quietly checking boxes. If you watch him closely, man, he doing. Then you got Overshawn making plays of the year. And how fast did it take him to just go? Because what did we say the first time we saw Overshawn? Why Clark rotating? Did that take long to end? How long did that take to end? One game,
bro. Cass was grilling me for my take on Clark, bro. I was like, dog, bro, I'm cool on the ankle tackles, dog. Bro, y'all say y'all want a dog, but as far as I'm concerned, Clark was a chihuahua, bro. He was an ankle biter. I wasn't trying to see him in my linebacker room. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know Amp is real critical of LBs, and he just wasn't getting it for me. And since he has put the individuals in place who make sense, this defense is elevated.
Mm-hmm. Then let's keep counting. Is Mozzie playing better under him?
Mozzie, the man got us looking at Carl Lawson boy, that thing, they fat up, boy.
Carl Lawson got 5 sacks.
Bro, we looking at Thomas Wheat boy, that thing, they fat up.
Let me ask you another question. Are you impressed with Osa and the common sense to ramp him up?
Bro, he
giving him way more snaps.
Way more snaps, dog. And I mean, part of that, I'm gonna give it to him.
Zimmer doing some. If you count it,
I mean, who else you got to go out there? I'm just saying, But the fact that he's playing them, he's ramping them up. We see him. It's like, hey, I know y'all are on the fence about Osa and what kind of contract he made the man, but the man is looking good, bro.
Yeah.
So
then let's keep adding. He went to a 6-man front. Look at all the stuff that he does. He don't sit back and just take it. Does he sit back? Let's keep going. Then you take Micah Parsons and you put him at the 3-tech. You take Izzy, you put him in the slot, and you got Jordan Lewis playing better than he's ever played.
On the outside.
They put Jordan Lewis on the outside, dog. And they put Izzy in the slot. Boy, I'm say, man, are y'all watching Mike Zimmer, bro?
See, what Mike Zimmer is
Mike
doing
clowning.
is his credit. He's doing what we want Mike McCarthy to do. He is doing what they refer to as leaving no stone unturned.
Yeah.
Hey, if you a body, if you willing and able, he don't care. You ain't got to be a 10. He will make you a 10.
Yeah.
He will send you to the best Mac makeup artist available, and you will be a dime. He will have you looking good, because what he does is he observes, he take notes, and he plays to players' strengths. That is something that I have been banging the table for a while, because guess what? No matter who you bring in here next year, as far as coaching staff, no matter who you bring in here as far as free agency, no matter who you draft, it does not matter. If you use them in the improper format, guess what? It will show and it will tell on you.
So now I really, 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 really would want to see Zimmer continue, bro. Make this 4 weeks, because that's going to make next week conversations so interesting. Because I'm going to start getting loud about it. I'm going to start.
Boy, he messed around and beat Cincinnati and beat Philly.
All I want him to do is, if he can hold. Now, this is a high bar. This is a high bar, bro. But if you hold Cincinnati to under 21, bro, I'm going to start getting loud about Zimmer, bro. I'm going to be like, listen. Sound the alarm, bro. Like, stop playing. I don't want to hear he old. I don't want to hear none of that.
I'm going to be loud too, boss, but I'm going to be loud. I'm going to be so loud. For defensive coordinator, bro. That's where I'm at right now.
You ain't okay, so you ain't even considering head coach.
At this age, I just think it's too much for him.
His age? Oh man, I swear I can't. Oh.
Bro, look, I'm not saying the age as far as him being an old fart and being incapable. I believe he's comfortable in the best version of himself, not
as
being
a D coordinator.
So far. Yes. That's all I'm saying. Could he do head coach? I'm confident he could, but I think he would be best for the Cowboys in just a coordinator role. That's all I'm saying. I ain't poo-pooing on him because of his age. I just think he's a greater version of himself having to do less.
We'll pause it because I want to have that discussion. That's a whole show discussion. Like, yeah, because we would have to kind of pro and con this. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I didn't know they was gonna take that turn, but I want to get into my girl Joy and some of her stuff that she was bringing out. We promised. Did you have anything else on this Bengals, man?
I do.
Okay, what you got?
Look,
I don't want to rush.
We focus it on Zimmer. Look, there's another side of the game, as Lauren Hill said. How do you feel? Because everybody unanimously is saying that, and you said it earlier, this should be a shootout. So what you're alluding to is you feel like this offense should be able to score and have their way. It shouldn't take a crazy kickoff return. It shouldn't take a tapped interception pick six for us to be able to get some points. So my question to you is, we talking about Mike and his role in being back here next season. How do you feel about Mike McCarthy and his offense with the weapons that he has at his disposal this week? How do you feel about Mike McCarthy exploiting a defense who has given up a lot at times this year?
He's on trial. Mike McCarthy's on trial. And I think the main reason he's on trial is not even just the points. It's what you go do about left tackle. So you got, to answer your question, you got something major going on over there. Yeah. You got some major. Yep. So Trey Henderson lines up over the left tackle 95% of the time. So it's pretty clear that you're going to see the matchup that can determine the game is going to be Chuma versus your sack leader and your technician.
Yep. Because unfortunately, we done lost Awesome Richards. He was turning the corner and showing us that he was worth sticking around. And then just as the going was getting good, we lose him for the remainder of the season. So unfortunately, it's between Tyler Guyton right now and Chuma Edoga.
Yep. So he playing with his hand behind his back. So nothing says be pass happy this game. Nothing. This said everything about this game says don't allow Trey to get going, run the ball, right? Slow the game down
and wear him down.
And wear him
run
down.
At him.
The good news is this: we got a lot of practice going against top pass rushes. So, we had a good game plan versus Myles Garrett. So we've had multiple cracks at elite pass rushes to where Mike McCarthy, you've seen this enough not to panic. So now, but he's on trial, and the good news is right now Cooper Rush is playing better, and he's showing that he's enough to win with. It's gonna be more about, in my opinion, Dad, what was the family plan? Did you protect the family? Did you because if you don't run the ball, you're not protecting the defense. So what's your family plan? To answer your question about going to the offensive side, that's the major thing that I saw about the offensive side. This should be a Rico game again. Rico and Zeke, for real.
Especially since you've actually, named a lead back.
Yeah.
Go ahead and continue to do what you have been the last couple of weeks. Continue the trend that you did last week by getting Rico Dowdle his first 100-yard rushing game ever in history. Yeah. Appreciate you for that. So, hey, Mike, now that you've seen he can do it, continue to build on it, dog. Because, again, this is evaluation season. We are not only evaluating you, we evaluating these players as well. And if you should get a chance next season, we need to make sure that you have the players around you that will make you in this offense successful, sir.
Exactly.
So you got to highlight it.
So getting into this Jori stuff, she had a couple of things that kind of stood out, and we go kind of rapid fire, kind of go through this stuff because it was just interesting, very interesting. Because Amp dug up this because obviously everybody kind of hung on to what happened the other day. Maybe
be a good way to say it. But I wholeheartedly believe in them. The guys won a Super Bowl in New Jersey.
So everybody hung on to that, right? But let's go through a couple of other things that came out.
It's always telling how a guy answers this question because, for example, when Dak was asked, I believe it was after the Green Bay loss last year, but definitely after one of the playoff losses, about Mike's job status, Dak said, well, if his job's in question, mine should be too. Look what I did out there. Look what I did on the field. We love that guy and we play for him. Compared to when I asked Jalen Hurts about Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni, or I don't know if I asked him, I was there when it was asked last year, and he said, oh, is that
She caught herself capping a little bit.
Oops.
That's okay. I don't know if I asked if I was there. That's okay. Hey, that's okay, man. We all slip.
question? Like, is that even a question if Nick comes back? But he would not say then or in the days following, I want Nick Sirianni back. And we've seen the articles that have come out since about some of the strife between them, whether or not that led to something. So I do think when a player is not willing to say, like, we want our head coach, we fight for him, that's on us, it's telling regardless of the exact meaning of what they're saying instead of it.
And see, that was before she had the interview with Dak.
Yeah, she led up with it.
And you've been doing a real good job on your research of showing that even the defense is fighting for Mike. So you got, this ain't just Dak. Can you elaborate on that?
Jordan Lewis, little Jordan Lewis.
Yeah, Jordan Lewis too.
Said that if he's our coach, we got to play for him. Is that what he said? Does that sound like an individual?
Yeah.
Who is not confident in his coach? No. Does it sound like an individual who is not a leader of men? No. Does it sound like somebody who was already checked out. As the song would say, your body's here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. No, that's not the case here. That sounds like somebody who is very locked in. That sounds like somebody who is very much has the men that are playing for him still locked in. That sounds like an individual who has somebody playing for him that is playing with a purpose. Yes, playoffs may not be in the cards for us, but we still got a purpose. We are still playing a competitive game.
They playing for Mike. See, the key part about you sending me this clip, it was 2 weeks before last week. Where was we about 3 weeks ago? Think about it.
Still on the losing end of things.
We was at the lowest point.
Still real.
So when we was at our lowest point, they was fighting for him. See, the timing of Jori on this one is important.
See, that's the test right there, boss, and you said it. See, everybody gonna ride with you when you win it.
Yeah.
Look, you don't have to worry about the stands being full. You don't have to worry about participation. You don't have to worry about morale. You don't have to worry about none of that stuff. When you winning, it takes care of all of that. But when you're losing, that's when you find out who are the individuals who are still committed, y'all. The individuals who are still going about their business day after day, being professionals. That's what we want. Even in a losing effort, I'm still coming. I'm still showing up to work. I'm still handling my business because I still have a job to do. They're still paying me to do this job. So are you going to come to work and half-ass and take off on drills or embellish injuries and not be available? No, these guys are still showing up to work. That's what we have to be thankful for. But you also have to take that and harness that and use that to continue to fuel this team to get the maximum effort out of these individuals. Kudos to Big Mike.
Yeah. And this ain't saying Mike ain't got no awards. He got awards. He got plenty of awards. But I also want to be fair. I also want to be balanced and accurate. I'm not going to say that these guys are not playing for him and they quit on him when they clearly have not. And it's one thing to play for you and your future. It's another thing to play for your coach and say that.
Yep.
It's a big thing for Dak to say, damn, bro, I really wish I was out there because I would want to try to help him.
Yeah.
That's I'm not going to ignore that. You might. I'm not going to ignore that. I'm going
to say or didn't give the impression that he feels like, boy, I'm glad I'm not out there having to deal with this shit, dog. Because he could be like, boy, I'm glad they ain't mucking up my stats with this one. Hey, look, Dak Prescott still is able to say, hey, every time I play a complete season or most of the games, I still have a winning record. You know what I'm saying? We might or might not make the playoffs. I still got a winning record. If Dak was playing this year and he had been in these games, it would be the first season he would have a losing record. So he could easily say, hey, man, I'm glad I'm not a part of this one. It ain't my fault. No. He's saying, man, I wish I was out there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what he's saying. So I'm just taking notes. It's like, if you the boss, Amp, right? Yeah. You got to make the final decision. Obviously, you the boss.
You do, yeah.
But I'm going to take into consideration the fact that my men want him. I'm going to at least listen to that, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not going to just poo-poo on that. I'm going to be like, bro, I am watching them play for him. And I'm just kind of putting that fact in my back pocket for a second. That's all. You feel me? I'm just, you know, if we being fair. Another thing that Jori brought out, let's discuss this.
Game is the recipe for failure. When we look at what Saquon Barkley's doing this year, and there are plenty of other running backs like him, and Saquon was here this week, running backs should not be as devalued as they are. But it's not that, because there's the running back, there's the offensive line, there's the penalties, there's the turnovers, there's the defense not figuring it out. And I also think it oversimplifies matters to say if CD had his contract a month earlier, then Dak and CD would have been on the same page. If Mike wasn't on the final year of his deal, he wouldn't have been too afraid of it. But I do think that there just seems to be something. And John Machota, who I know y'all know well, and I do as well, made a great point a couple days ago of like, someone needs to figure out, like, that Green Bay loss in the playoffs. Like, it feels like this team has not recovered from that, and that's really where this traces back to. I don't think that the problem is specific to the 2024 NFL season. I really think this dates back to last year's playoff loss. And there are times, and again, this is why we'll see whether Mike's contract gets renewed, but there are times when you just need a fresh voice, a fresh scheme, and a fresh playbook.
So the first thing she talked about is that these running backs shouldn't be devalued like they've been. And she one of the few that been always talking about that. Now, we've been on that, you know what I'm saying? But it's a lot more people that, you know, totally devalued running back.
Bro, I remember about 2 years ago, there was an article that came out about this time of year, and it was talking about running backs and talking about the position, and it was talking about what resources you use for that position group as an organization. And they were relating those the things that the Kansas City Chiefs have done with running back in recent years. And they were talking in reference to a lot of other teams in the league, as far as, you know, just basically kind of renting these guys for a couple of years, chewing them up, spitting them out, and not offering them a second contract because these guys are what they deemed as expendable, if you will. But this year, unfortunately for them, it threw a wrench in their plan. It threw a wrench in the idea and the theory and the philosophy that these guys are not worth second contracts in the NFL.
Right.
Oh, the life expectancy of a running back is only 3-4 years. You use them up, you get you a good rookie or whatever, or you sign an undrafted free agent running back, you use them, you invest in a great line, and then when that time is done, when it's time for them to start talking about contract and how good they've been, you just dispose of them like they're some cheap form of adult entertainment. Like, what are we doing here, bro? Like, come on, dog. Like, we're talking about running back. We're talking about one of the most prehistoric yet essential facets of the game of football. It's running, it's passing, it's tackling, and it's blocking. And that's what football is made of. And so if you don't take the time, the money to invest in that facet of the game, you'll find yourself on the outside looking in, like a lot of teams this year who were so caught up in the fact that this is a passing league that they were blind to the fact that the trend was changing right before their eyes. Guys were getting bigger right before your eyes. Yep. Teams were no longer throwing 40 and 50 times a game. They're dumbing it down.
And the teams that's doing that losing. And the
yes.
teams that's doing that losing. The teams that's running the ball are winning.
Yes. So that was a long-winded way to answer to say, bro, run the damn ball.
Yeah. And respect somebody. And respect the value of running back. Because I was gonna tweet this. I'm gonna tweet this at some point in the future. But the way that we value tight end and undervalue running back is total proof that common sense is not coming. The way that we overvalue tight end and undervalue running back is proof that common sense is not coming. It's proof. It's right in our face. The fact that we never blink when there's a tight end considered as a first round prospect, we never blink at it. But let it be gentle. They'll still be like, no, absolutely not. Not in the first round. You never do it. You're like, what? Gibbs, no. You're like, huh? Zeke never should have been a top 5. Are you stupid? Are we going to ignore what Zeke did for us the first 4 years? Oh, yeah. You serious? Like, they be, yeah, I'm serious. They never should have got, they wasted, you never get it back in the top 5. Do y'all remember that when Jerry said Zeke was the straw, not even Dak, and nobody laughed?
Bro, see, what you have that took place this offseason is you have an epic fail of junk science.
Yes. Ooh. epic fail of
junk science.
Yep.
See what really took place?
Yep.
Is these teams are like, how old is he? How many rushing yards? How many attempts has he had over his career?
Yep.
And what they did, y'all, I'm telling you, they didn't look at the film. They did not look at the film. What they did is they said, nah, this guy's washed up, man. What'd he do last year? Yeah, no, we're not doing that. And instead of taking their time to fully evaluate these individuals and give them a hard look, they said, nah. And guess what? They pay him for it. It has been. We just not. The organization is just not figuring that point out. They just not figure, and I don't even know if they figured it out.
Yeah.
They could have just got lucky last week, boss. I don't know.
Yeah. And let me play this last thing by Joy real quick, because she has a lot of stuff. Because we said it was more than just that Dak stuff that she brought out, you know, and that people need to pay attention to. This was very interesting. I can't wait to talk about this one.
Not a recipe for success. I think what I struggle with is I kind of think there needs to be someone who stands up to Jerry. And I don't mean that as Jerry's a bully. Like, Jerry's great for us to work with. He's great for y'all to work with generally. But I think that someone needs to be a non-Cowboys voice to be like, no, these things. And I don't think it's the Tours, but some of the extra stuff that goes on off the field at the Star, you need someone to be like, that's not what it was like in my other place. And hey, Micah, if you want to talk about your show, you have to be aware of the consequences and all of these different things. Like, I think they need a non-Cowboys voice. And given how loyal Jerry has been to his former players, I find it difficult to believe that they would be able to not be that loyal to him. And I don't think that loyalty in that regard.
She talking about Witten.
Is what you should be looking for. I think you need someone who can balance it out.
What have you made on the way?
Distractions.
It's such a good point by Jori. The power of an outside voice, right? Because non-biased and somebody that can say from doing it outside, what we doing? To me, that the best voice for what she described is Belichick. The best voice for what she just described, somebody that could push back, somebody that could actually. I got clip after clip of Jesse Holley because I asked him so many times, what's the difference between New England and Dallas? Because he obviously played for both, right? And everybody that I talked to, everybody, including Jesse, would say football is first there. He said the main thing that they did to us, not like Dallas, is before the season starts, you have to have all of your extracurricular money ventures approved. So you know how you can just kind of sign up with this group and then you'll go to their autograph signers and they pay you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It can be the playoffs and y'all can throw a party. None of that is approved by Belichick. That would all be no. Why? I'm trying to make an extra 5,000. I mean, we talked about this at the beginning of the season, man. It wasn't on the list. No, we not throwing no victory party. You remember Sam Williams interpret at that victory party? That would have been no. But the only person, to me, that could do it is Belichick. To me.
I'm afraid you're right. However, he goes against everything Dallas, dog. I mean, everything. As far as the marketing and the branding and the social media, you name it, bro. He actually might be the only individual who might be able to get the tours changed at the Star, bro. But at the same time, I think he might be so much of a polar opposite that he rubs everybody the wrong way and they do not respond to him well. And they completely buck the system. It's possible.
Yeah.
Could he get some positive influence? Yes, but I think Belichick would be so far to the right. Just like, man, who is this guy, bro? Jerry, like, what you? And then what you will have is a situation where players ain't even talking to Belichick potentially, bro. I'm just,
you know what I fear, which I think is almost worse than that, where he go left, where he come to the left, so he not as effective.
If that's what y'all want to do,
yeah.
Just
so he start giving passes to stuff he was no nonsense on. He goes left.
All that to be likable.
And for employment. Call yourself kind of compromising a little bit. Like, I compromise with you. You know what I mean? But you really
guess
kind
what?
of eliminating the key standard.
Zimmer compromise.
Exactly. That's my exact point. Exactly.
Oh.
Because nobody, listen, where's Sideline Zimmer? We've not seen him.
At all.
We've been waiting on Sideline Zimmer the whole year. He has not shown up. Asshole
not
Zimmer
advertised
has not. Nope. No. We were sold a sideline fighter. We got us I believe he still, get after bars, but he not doing it the way that he used to.
He in there somewhere.
He in there. But he know better to do it in the public. Obviously. Because
we don't want our team coached in that manner.
Right.
Not here in Dallas.
Yep.
Chris Richard.
Yeah. But man, let's go ahead and give our final words, man. We promise we gonna get him an hour. We right at an hour.
In and out.
We got a big game coming up tomorrow. I'm excited about the Monday night game. Listen, y'all. Real football people can't get up right now. A lot of people have checked out, right?
Yeah.
But no, the reality TV of football and outcomes that can happen from the drama is very real and alive. It's a lot of future that's going to be shaped based on how they finish. The story is very much interesting to me. Very much, this whole story. These coaches that's fighting for their life, these players that's fighting for their life, everything is just hanging in the balance. The potential coaches that could come in here, the snitching that was going on. Like, it's a lot that's still worth watching to me, and I'm Monday go say a lot. Tuesday go say more. That's my final word.
Man, so look. It's Burrow, it's Chase, it's Higgins, it's Brown, it's Hendrickson. Look, this is a game that will not be short of stars. We aren't playing a team full of nobodies. We're playing a team that, like us, is sprinkled with talent. Coaching staff is questionable sometimes, but they've shown times where, guess what? They can beat the best teams in the league. At times, we have shown that we can compete with the best teams in the league. So we've also shown that when we're balanced, when Mike McCarthy is responsible, when he mixes things up, he looks better. When he doesn't blow the game because of certain calls or deciding to go for it in unfavorable positions and putting a strain on your defense, we've seen both sides of that. We've seen a defense that has been rested when offense is establishing long drives. We've seen that. last game was probably the closest to a complete game that we've had all season. And it took that for us to get that W on last week. But guess what? It's going to take a repeat. I repeat, it's going to take a repeat effort against this team. In order to beat them, you're going to have to beat them across the board on all three phases. It's possible, y'all. I'm hoping Zimmer and this defense can elevate even more than what we've seen them. In Mike's defense, I want to see him be able to put some things together to start to establish some type of identity. I know CeeDee Lamb is our biggest weapon, but he's been beat up at times this year. I want to see us not only target him, I want us to continue to allow Rico Dowdle to be the lead back that he's shown us that he can be. Y'all, if we do these things, it should be a game.
Yep.
It should pretty much come down to the last series because both offenses are potent. The question is the defenses, and whomever defense plays the best on tomorrow night, y'all, that's the team that's going to win.
Yeah.
Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good becomes your better and your better becomes your best. Until next time, Cowboys Nation, y'all be blessed.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Thanks for fighting through that cold, bro.
You hear it, dog?
Love,
Man.
over too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, streets they taught me, but we too bossy,
We do some Rico
we don't
lock.
tread softly, but not flossy, the streets they taught me, I'm just tryna get my nigga paid. We came from Section 8, and I knew I was at since the second grade. Man, I swear my time is coming, cause I'm never late. Came from broken homes and broken dreams to getting paid. Dollar bill, listen close, this is not a drill. Cause hungry trying to get a meal. I've been in light, who gon' pay a bill? I've been in action, been in traction, surplus with niggas lacking, shining light but still be blacking, red lights will stop the action, grand to go, even when it's slow, higher heights.